Alright, finally. Round is beginning. Looks like we see a Mewtwo, Tornadus, probably a big basic deck versus Ryan's Darkrai deck. Probably a closer matchup than the ones we've been seeing over the last few rounds. Excluding last round, which is completely my fault. Sorry about that. Get a strong computer search opening by Ryan. He's going to be able to junk hunt it right back into his hand after this turn. So that's really great. Ryan's going to check his deck to see what's prized. And he'll go with an energy card. That's nice because when he gets that energy, instead of the energy search, he'll be able to junk hunt for the hammer and the computer search. All right, looks like Hypnotoxic Leader isn't going to put Mewtwo to sleep here, but Ryan's got a good start with his turn one junk hunt into a computer search and getting some damage on the board on Mewtwo. Okay, Ryan gets some nice playable cards here. Doesn't get a supporter, but he's fine, because after he junk hunts, he'll have pretty much whatever he needs. Now, he has a choice to make here. He's got Crushing Hammer, Laser, and Computer Search in there. He's definitely going to get the Computer Search, but he's going to go for the Crushing Hammer or the Laser here. It's an interesting choice. Goes for the Laser. He figures Mewtwo might be able to switch out pretty easily this turn. Whatever comes up there, he's going to want to try to poison and put that to sleep too. He also has another hammer in his hand when he wants to get rid of whatever energy Frank plays here. Okay, we're going to see a Skyla from Frank. Doesn't seem like he's going to get a switch with this, and he seems like he's content enough to stay in and attack with Mewtwo, and it looks like he's gonna get a knockout on that Sableye on turn one. That's gonna make it a lot harder for Ryan to get a turn two Darkrai, considering that the Darkrai is gonna be active. He has no other Sableye or Darkrai on the field. Right, so Sableye's poisoned. We're going to see the X-Ball. Frank strikes first. Okay, so Ryan has some interesting choices to make here. He's got a tough task ahead of him, a Mewtwo ready to go. Fortunately for Ryan, that Mewtwo's not going to be very useful against a Darkrai that doesn't have any energy attached to it. In fact, it would only do 20 or 40 damage, depending on whether or not Frank attaches again to Mewtwo. Possibly 60 if he attaches another double colorless, but I'm not expecting that. Okay, we're seeing Ryan search his deck for whatever Pokemon he needs. Another Darkrai is certainly not a bad choice here. Playing another Sableye, it might be necessary, but it's something you definitely don't want to do in this situation. You want to make Frank essentially earn 7 prizes. So Ryan is going to computer search here. Discarding the Dark, obviously, and the Hypnotoxic Laser. Okay, we're going to see Ryan get an N. It's going to put Frank to 5 cards. Ryan's going to have 6. Tails on that Crushing Hammer. This other card being an Energy Switch. You know, sometimes I regret choosing certain cards, and if I was Ryan, I would definitely regret not getting that second Crushing Hammer. I'd much rather have an Energy Switch in the discard. You know, I really want to get rid of that double colorless. Who knows, maybe Ryan has Enhanced Hammer, maybe he'll get rid of it anyway with his Crushing Hammer. But I certainly don't see him junk hunting again. Unless in an extreme situation. Alright, so he's got another hammer here. That would be really good to just get rid of all the energy Frank has on the field. Ryan's thinking about thinning his deck even more here. And he's going to get rid of both Sableyes. Smart thing to do. There's not much else Ryan can do here. He's going to go ahead and play that Crushing Hammer, trying to get rid of that energy off Mewtwo. We're going to see a Bicycle for 3. He draws a Juniper, so Ryan's going to be in plenty good shape next turn. However, this turn we are going to see a pass. Alright, Frank's going to put Darkrai to sleep with that Hypnotoxic Laser. And Ryan N to 6. Excuse me, and Ryan to 6. I don't think anybody's going to be Ryaning N anything. Now, Frank's definitely got to be looking for some plays here. Tornadus getting a DCE, that's certainly a good one. Unfortunately for him, I don't see a Stadium, so he's not going to be doing 60 damage with that Tornadus. But 30 certainly gets him on the board there. Darkrai's at 40 HP. Fortunately for Ryan, that Darkrai wakes up. Oh, that's interesting. So Ryan's going to attach to Darkrai. I don't see any Dark Patches or anything like that in his hand, so... He does play Enhanced Hammer, and he is going to be able to discard one of Frank's DCs. He gets rid of the one on Mewtwo. Mewtwo is certainly a scary Pokemon if it were to build up a nice amount of energy on it. Alright, Ryan's going to Juniper here. Gets a lot of energy cards here. A lot of ways to get energy. I don't see an energy switch or something like that. I think Ryan was pretty content in just letting that Darkrai take some more damage up in the active position, and that's fine. You know, it puts Frank down to 3 prizes if he's able to knock it out. He has a laser of his own, and Tornadus is going to be put to sleep here. It's going to be huge for Ryan if Tornadus is staying asleep and Frank doesn't have a switch, but Tornadus wakes up. So Frank is definitely going to be able to attack this turn. I see a fighting in Frank's hand. There's an Ultra Ball, a computer search. Frank is ready to just go to town on some Darkrai's. Frank's weighing his options here. There's a lot of different options, so careful consideration is definitely necessary. He is gonna use Ultra Ball, get that Landorus EX out. Super effective against Darkrai. Frank still weighing his options here. He could attach to Tornadus, play a Verbank if he has it, do Power Blast, and almost knock out the Darkrai, I think. Nope, he's going to send up Landorus here. He's going to do 60 to Darkrai, let it take some more residual poison damage, and do 30 to one of the Darkrai's with 2 energy on the bench. It's good that he got some energy on one of those guys. Those guys are definitely the real threat here. Hypnotoxic Laser, heads. Landorus is now asleep. It's great. It's a good thing that Ryan needs. Start taking out Landorus, taking more prizes. He's done some sparing damage up to this point. But now he looks pretty set to start attacking every turn with his Darkrai's. He should be in much better shape. Especially that Frank only has 1 energy on the board. Oh, and it looks like Ryan had to just pass here with his active 2 energy. Wow, that's huge. Getting that extra 90 certainly would be good, and attacking certainly would be useful, but you know, sometimes your hands just don't allow it. Fortunately for Ryan, Frank stays asleep, and that Landorus probably isn't going to do much this turn. We'll see a laser, but no sleep. Another Sharon from Frank. Sharon's a nice card in the basic deck. There's an attachment to Tornadus. Looks like Frank is not going to opt to use computer search for a switch, probably. Maybe he is. Switch retreat. Could be. You got to think you definitely want to start doing damage as soon as possible while Ryan isn't able to do anything. Okay, we are going to see the switch here. It's going to send up that Tornadus and then retreat right back into the Landorus. And he's going to continue to Hammerhead. Alright, see Ryan here. He's definitely going to need to make a move to start attacking. He does have an energy card again. And he will be able to Night Spear now. With a Dark Claw. Boom. He's going to do 110 damage to Landorus, putting him at 160. Now Frank's definitely want to keep putting more damage on Darkrai's, getting him set up for knockouts. If Frank can ever force a double EX knockout turn, that would be huge. Catches up the Keldeo, since he knows Ryan is going to have to attach to the Keldeo to get it out of the active. If he puts it to sleep with Hypnotoxic Laser, that Keldeo will definitely be stuck in the active position. Frank gets his second Landorus out. It's going to be useful because, as you can see, the first one already has 120 damage on it. A Night Spear or a double bench hit Night Spear, it's going to do it in for that Landorus. And, well, Landorus is pretty good versus Darkrai, so why not get another one? And he's going to take his first two prizes with Hammerhead to Ryan's bench Darkrai. So the prize count is 3-6, and that end is going to be great for Ryan. Frank got a second energy onto the field, one of them onto his Bouffalant. So whatever has 60 damage on it, Bouffalant is going to be able to knock out. Now, that Keldeo could end up with 60 on it. A Darkrai could easily end up with 60 on it after just one Hammerhead. So it really puts those Darkrai's in knockout range. Okay, here we do have a Darkrai coming up. Is he just going to attack the Landorus? Yep, it's going to attack the Landorus, knock it out, take two prizes, and put some extra damage on that Bouffalant. So the prize count is 4-3, and it is now Franco who has an opportunity to strike back. He promotes Landorus. Probably means he has a fighting energy, yep. And that should just about put everything into Bouffalant attacking range. Alright, so we got a couple Tornadus on the field for Frank. a Landorus, a Bouffalante, a Mewtwo. He has a lot of different options here. He's going to do 60 to Darkrai, and then another 30 to the bench Darkrai, putting that one up to 100 damage. Keldeo has 30. Darkrai has... I can't tell how much the active Darkrai has. Probably 90, something like that. Ryan attaches again to Keldeo. So that'll be cool because he'll be able to knock out a Landorus. Even if he only doesn't have any waters on the Keldeo, he'll still be able to do 100 damage specifically to Landorus due to its weakness. Ooh, and a max potion from Frank. Gonna build up Landorus' HP to full, and Landorus is gonna get another 1 energy on it. That's all it needs to do a lot of damage to Darkrai. Another 60 to the active. Another 30 to the benched one. The benched one is at 130 damage. The active is at quite a lot of damage. Can't see exactly. But if it's in... The active has 140 damage, I believe. If it has 150 damage, then Frank is definitely in a great position. Okay, we're going to see an Ultra Ball here. Ryan's not going to play that Verbank. Maybe Frank doesn't play Verbank. And at this point, it would definitely help Frank. So Ryan's weighing his options here. Frank is definitely pretty far ahead here. What does Ryan do to try to win this game? He can't avoid attacking the Landorus. It has 180 HP. So unless Ryan plays plus power, he won't be able to just do bench damage and then knock out the Landorus with only 1 direct attack. That's not going to cut it. Setting up the Keldeo here, does 100 damage, keeps one of his EX Pokemon safe. And now it's Frank's turn to strike back. Frank is going to do Hammerhead. Put the Keldeo at 60 damage and knock out that Darkrai, going down to 1 prize. Now everything except the new Darkrai is within Bouffalante's attacking range. Yep, Ryan knocks it out, knocks out the Landorus, and Frank has the energy for the Bouffalante, so all he has to do is use Bouffalante's attack, Gold Breaker, 120 damage to that Keldeo, knocking it out, winning him the game. Wow, guys, that game was closer than some games. The Landorus really started to pull it out there, and we're really seeing strong play by these basic decks. We got 2 more rounds after this, round 7 and round 8, and then we'll be done for the day. We'll have Top Cut on Sunday, but we'll be back just after a few minutes. Thanks.